Hello, everybody. What's up, coaches? Welcome back. It's episode 20 of Football Talk with Coach Chip. Today we're going to talk a little offensive line, do some offensive line drill work. Before we do that, though, let's talk a little bit about our sponsors. We've got Johnny's New York Style Pizza in West Point, Georgia. They make everything from scratch as far as the pizza goes, the dough, scratch, the sauce made right there on site. I've seen the cans and cans and cans of tomatoes that they make the sauce from. Next time you find yourself in the West Point, Georgia area, that's between Montgomery and Atlanta on I-85, put Johnny's New York Style Pizza in your map app, and it's just a short, like 5 minutes off the interstate. And it'll be worth it. Right now, with everything that's all the craziness going on, they're still making the best pizza around, and they'll bring it out to your car for you. All you got to do is look them up as you're coming through. It'd be a nice little get off for you on the interstate. Give you a little break from that interstate action and get you some Johnny's New York Style Pizza. Be sure to ask for Ben or Yada. Tell them Coach Chip sent you. And also my buddy Johnny Buckets. Johnny Buckets podcast with Thrift Behringer. They do a great job right now. They're creating content when there's no live sports to be had. I love listening to me on my run, listening to them on my run. And I have one complaint with them. They're only doing 2 podcasts a week. Come on, guys. We can do better. All right. That's the Johnny Buckets podcast. You can get them anywhere you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, and SoundCloud. All right. So be elite and head over there to them. All right, let's get started right here with this good stuff. We're going to look at offensive line pulling drills. And before we get started, let me remind you real quick, and I'm going to keep it up here for most of the broadcast of the episode. You can email me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. See how to spell it right there? I'm at Chip Siegel on Twitter. And my wife has taught me into using a page, and I'm going to do some revamping of it, my Facebook page that I started a few years ago for my students, trying to prove to our administration that social media would work when it came to educating our teenagers. And I'm going to make that into my, kind of tie it in with this YouTube channel. So that's Coach Chip, and I've been called Coach. Somebody said, when did you be called Coach Chip? I said, well, since 1985 when I started coaching, but when I went to some bigger schools, administrators didn't think that was too cool, so whatever. All right, let's talk about some offensive line pulling drills. Things you can do, you'll do on your wraps, your one back power, your power, straight power, your counter, and all that good stuff. Here we go. All right, traps and kickouts. All right, the first thing you want to do is you want to get you a bag and have you a line. Have you a line. It could be one of your lines painted on the field. If you're practicing about lines on the field, I know some of you don't have, your rec league coaches, youth league coaches, and all that. Go out there, buy you some paint and put you a few lines out there. I don't know how you practice without lines. And you line up on one side of the line, okay, and put the bag on the other side at the end of the line there, okay, about anywhere from 1 to 3 yards, maybe 4, depending on what you want to do. It depends on you going to be doing quick traps, short traps, long traps. And I teach the skip pull. Now, to me, the skip pull is the best. When I learned it several years ago, it's been about 10 years, I've converted and do everything that way. The only thing, if I have a center that can pull, if we're going to make a call and have the center pull, they don't skip pull. But my tackles, my guards, do it on buck sweep, do it on one back power, or do it on straight power. Okay? And like I said, even on buck. You push off, if you're pulling to the right, you push off with your left foot. Okay, and you karaoke your left foot behind your right foot. Okay, one day I'm going to be able to show you how to do it, and I don't do it the best, but y'all can appreciate that from a man almost 58 years old. The reason I like it allows you to get downhill quicker and cross that line. Now, if you go back and look at some of my videos leading up to this, I talk about crossing the line. This is what I'm talking about. This is the line, this blue line right here. They're going to skip, pull, karaoke step, and then get downhill, moving toward the defense. Okay? Make sure you stay low, keep your pads down, keep your head up. All right? And it's always best to use a chute on drills like this if you have one available, and I understand if you don't. I've been there. Been there at high schools. Didn't have a chute. Aiming point is always, if you're pulling right, the left number. I like to say the inside number, because if you turned him around and squared him back up, it would be his inside number. And the reason why I do that is it doesn't matter so much if you lose him upfield. You don't want to lose him inside when you kick him. And if he's well coached, he's not going to run upfield anyway. And here's what I'm talking about. Now, this is traps and kickouts. By the way, this could be your left guard or your right guard if you're a trapping team. Okay? If this is the right guard, this is what he'll do on the down when you run the good old-fashioned down. If this is your left guard, this is what he's going to do on a trap, okay, or a counter back to the right. And then you can flip it and do it both ways. All right, but stress striking on the inside of the bag always. I love this drill because you can do it out of season. You can do it without a bag. You just get out there and teach the kids the steps. You can do it all through the off season. You school coaches, okay? You can get out there without bags or anything. You can get in the gym. You got all those lines on the floor. Go through the steps. Put a cone over there, or put 2 cones over there, about a foot and a half apart, and let them attack that the left cone if they're pulling right. These are things you can do. You know, you don't have to have pads on to get better at football. But notice what I did. I moved the bag across the line to demonstrate to you. If this kid runs up the field and you say, Coach, if we got him going downhill, that's okay. He can flatten out and kick him. And if he runs too far up the field, he's a self-block anyway. You know, I've actually taught that kid runs all the way up the field. We're hitting that thing inside right here. You turn up and go find work right there. But the O-line can always flatten out if the bag or the man crosses the line. And remember, you can adjust the length of the path from week to week. You know, one week it may be a shorter path, and another week it may be a longer path. So that's not a big deal. You can adjust that. You've got your line right here. All right, but remember, you can always come back. You can always come back if the guy runs upfield, but you can't if you go too flat. If you come right here and this kid comes underneath, you can't get there. Okay, he's going to blow that up. So get right here, worst case scenario, for a squeezer. And if he runs upfield or comes across and sits and says, kick me, trap me, you're right there. Okay? All right, now this is the same thing. I'm just showing some of y'all that may be thinking, you know, just one man doing the drill. You can set up as many as you want that you can do. And you say, well, I'm just one guy. Do as many groups as you can to maximize your reps. And here's how you do it, Mr. One Guy. You know, most places just got the one O-line coach. You know, there's only a few school, you know, you get up in high school, you start getting 2. Record your drills. Everybody has an iPhone or some type of smartphone. And if you're one of the few people that still have the flip phone, that's fine. A lot of them have cameras. But one of your kids, a manager, another coach, has a smartphone. And you can stand there and hold it up and record it while you're doing it and still coach them, but keeping them repping up. And then after practice, you can watch it right there on your phone. If you don't have Huddle, you can upload it to Huddle, upload it to your YouTube page. That's what I used to do before I had Huddle. I had this YouTube. I got all kind of videos on my YouTube that aren't public that go way back to before we had Huddle or had the ability, or we had Huddle but didn't have the ability to upload it from a mobile device. Record your drills just like you record team stuff, okay, to maximize your reps. Do not pontificate. You're not a preacher. You're a coach. Keep the drill rolling and get reps. Keep the drill rolling and get reps. And the best way to do it, you can coach them as you go, but make it quick. Coach on the fly is what we call it. Coach on the run. And keep those kids and let them get as many reps as they can and get as many as they're going. And remember, let everybody do it. You say, well, my tackles don't do it. You never can tell. And it's not going to hurt. If you're just one coach, it's not going to hurt to have a tackle doing this. All right, let's look at this right here. This is the one back. This is not a kick. This is a wrap, or as a funnel, as I like to call it. Now, this is a short little wrap, like we do on our one back power. Go back in that episode, and I'll put that in the comments down below in the description, so you'll know which one is the one back power. Stress striking the bag on the inside again. Okay, that's where that linebacker, that's who you're pulling on, comes up. He's taught to be tight, okay, because they're trying to spill. Most defenses nowadays are. So attack that inside, and he can't get underneath you and rip underneath you, do his dip and rip, get skinny and get between you and the down block. Okay? You want to attack the inside. That's on a power and on the one back power. Getting beat inside is the issue. So make sure you do that. Make sure you teach them those, and that's something that's great to do when you don't have pads. You know, put something over there, and if your league or your state has rules where you can't even use blocking bags, use people. Just don't go full speed. You know, use yourself. Is it come right here, attack me on my inside. Okay? Come right here and fit up on my inside. This shorter wrap path I showed you here is emulating the one back. The puller needs to follow the rump line. This is a short rump line. It's where the butts are of the down blocks. Okay? He's got the one down block. Let's say that's the left guard wrapping through the A gap as the center block's back. This bag here emulates him. He wants to be real close, close enough to strike a match. I was telling the kids that a few years ago. They didn't know what I was talking about. I said, Coach, you can't strike a match on a man's butt. And I said, y'all ain't never heard of white tip matches? Boy, I'm going to tell you, these kids today, I don't get it. But this is the rump line right here. Right there. Okay? Now, extra bag. This will emulate the power for the OG, like the left guard, wrapping on power right. All right, and you can do it a little bit longer, and you can space the bags out. And also, it could be your OT on your counter, counter tray, okay, or your GT counter, or you can bring your H in and put him back here, give him a little depth, and they can do it too. Those H's always going to spend a little time with the O-line coach in my offense. Okay, the puller again needs to follow the rump line and be close enough to those down blocks to strike a match. Make the path a little longer to emulate power path. And right here, look, you're going to skip pull, the karaoke step, and get down field like you do on the kick out because you're following the rump line. And you're going to turn right here and attack that inside number of the linebacker. Remember, on wraps, you're usually getting linebackers, okay? All right, then you can bring them together, get your T and your G, your tackle and your guard, all right, and run your counter tray. Run your GT counter. All right, stress striking on the inside of the bag for that tackle because he's the wrapper on this one. All right, and tell the kicker to cross the line just like he would on a trap or like a down play. And you can mix and match and all these things right here. The better, the more they know, the better off you are. But the kicker and wrapper, another thing, need to be on different levels. That way, if you got a DN over here that decides he wants to go bowling for O-lineman and come in here and do something illegal like hit that kick out guy below the waist, they don't call it, and make a pile, if these guys are on different levels, okay, then he can still get this guy's block because he's on the ground underneath your guy because he rolled him up. And he can get right around in here and still get that backer. All they're trying to do is go shopping at Publix and get a BOGO. Buy one, get one. We won't let them do that because we're going to be on different levels. Okay? All right, again, this is the funnel. Funnel's created by the down blocks and the kick. The down blocks and the kick create a funnel. I'll show you that later. It's pretty cool. All right. Now put the H in there. Again, stress to him. Strike the inside of the bag when he makes his pull. Say I got him back a little bit. All right. And you can move him out some. It depends on how you do it. If you're doing it from a wing position or a sniffer position. And there's your guard kicking, crossing the line because he's kicking. Ain't nothing but a long trap. And then the H following the rump line. Follow the rump line. And going to turn up on the bag, which is the backer, and strike the inside. Okay. All right, why I call it the funnel. All right, y'all watch this. Now, this is why I do it. The wrapper is also called the funnel runner sometimes, okay? And you can see the funnel that's created by the down blocks. There's the butts of the down blocks. And the kick. There's the booty of the kicker. And you've got that funnel. So in my kids, I can say it's interchangeable. Maybe it's not good to have more than one word, but we say it, the wrapper or the funnel runner. And wrapper's quicker. And either one I say, they know, they've heard it so much, they know. And he's going to run that funnel that's created by the downs and created by the kick out. All right, now these are just a couple of drills that you can do, and on your own. You can do them during the off season. And so here's some key points to remember. Okay, always use the skip pull. Always use the skip pull. Okay. All right. Get downhill, cross the line on traps and kicks. Okay. Follow and stay tight to the rump line on the wraps. Okay. When you're running the funnel, follow the rump line. Be close enough to strike a match. Your aiming point is the inside number on traps, kicks, and wraps. Okay. So if you're going right, that would be the left number as the lineman looks at it. If you're going left, get the right number. Stay low, keep pads down, and head up. Use a chute if it's available. Record your drills. Shut up and coach them up with reps, reps, reps. Lou Holtz has got that old quote, and he probably didn't make it up, but he popularized it. You know, after it's all said and done, there's usually more said than there is done. Well, let's change that. Let's do more than we say. And I love to talk. I mean, on football, and I'll talk nonstop on the field. But as we're getting reps, I'm talking them through every rep. Okay? Talking them through every play. You can hear me out there. Get your kid, there's your wrap, there's your wrap. You know, it's almost like a basketball coach that's got his kid, got a young basketball team out there, and you can hear him. He said, all right, pick down. And he's just coaching them through every step of the way, even in a game. I'm that way at practice, even on 11v11 drills. I'm going to be talking, but they're getting reps while I'm talking. Taking a knee and listening to the coach talk, nobody ever got better doing that. That's why you have meeting time. And if you're one of those places where you can't get together and meet, create it. If it's nothing but after practice, keeping them 10 or 15 minutes, giving them a Gatorade, and showing them what you videoed, okay? And then you can email it to them at night or the next day. A huddle is a form of social media. Get the kids on huddle. That way you can keep up with their film watching habits. Also, you can, or whatever. I'm not promoting huddle. I am promoting huddle, but it's not because I'm making any money doing it. I've been told there's another one or two out there but down here in the South, we're all huddle. And that's all I know. And I'd hate to have to learn a new one right now. It's kind of like I tried Instagram a few years ago, and I thought, Lord of mercy, no, I can't do it. I can't manage too many of them. But the huddle, get the kids on it, and you can upload your film. And you can tag them and send it to them. You can create groups, have an offensive line group, and you share it to that group. Okay, and then you can quiz them on it. You see them. Say, hey, did you see that on? And you can put notes in there. Y'all know all about that. Use your huddle as a social media vehicle with your kids. Create your own groups. Okay? All right, so there is a couple of offensive line drills. We got the pulling. You got wrapping. You got kicking. Remember the key points right here. You can hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com. Siegel.chip@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at Chip Siegel. And on Facebook, go to the Coach Chip page, follow it. I'm starting to put all my tape up there. I'm going to start sharing other things too from other content creators, good stuff that goes along with what we talked about. And we can start a conversation there as well. Some of you coaches, I got one in Cleveland, been having a conversation with him, one up in South Fulton, Tennessee, which is practically Kentucky. I looked that up on the map, Coach. I appreciate y'all contacting me, and I'm just having fun, and we're trying to get through this lockdown that we're on as we got Rona 2020 keeping us all shut up, especially us coaches that can't get out and teach school. My head coach texted me a while ago and said, hey, let's get together tonight, which is fine with me, but my wife is going to have a fit if I try to get out of this house and go visit other people. But I'm about to go for a run, and I won't contact anybody. I'll keep appropriate social distance. All right, so that's been episode 20 of the Football Talk with Coach Chip on the Coach Chip channel. All right, don't forget our sponsors, Johnny's New York Style Pizza in downtown West Point, Georgia. Hit them up when you're coming through this neck of the woods. And the Johnny Buckets podcast. You can find them anywhere you find podcasts. Until I see you again, be elite.